from the nation's heartland. You're listening to Mundo in the Morning on 95.7 FM, KCMO Talk Radio.
You know, I think John's starting to rub off on me too much. Sometimes I just start yelling at my television when I watch the local news, and I'm like, gosh, dang it. This is not good.
Dude, I invented the interactive TV thing.
I know.
Never talks back, though.
It never does. But yesterday, I see this report from Fox 4 and John Holt, and I would never yell at John. He's a friend of the show, and I wasn't yelling at Fox 4 per se. Sometimes I yell at the television because of the anchors. But in this case, I was yelling at the TV because of the story about Kansas Governor Laura Kelly insisting that she is not interested in a bidding war over the Chiefs and the Royals. And it's like, ma'am, excuse me, ma'am, let's not rewrite history here. You started the border war. You started the bidding war for the Chiefs and the Royals. Please. So I start yelling at my TV, and I'm like, gosh, John would be so proud of me right now. He really would. Here's the report from Fox 4.
Governor Kelly says she does not think it's fair to Kansans to get into a type of bidding war approach to economic development.
So, you can be sure that, we've done a lot of economic development deals in the time that I have been governor. And we have vetted every single one of those to ensure that if we're going to invest this kind of money, we're going to get a heck of a return on that investment.
So if that is how this is now being portrayed by Governor Kelly, that I'm not interested in a bidding war for the Chiefs and the Royals, when the real history is that you started the bidding war. When the state of Kansas decided that they were going to try to pull the Royals and the Chiefs into Kansas by passing their star bond deal to entice the two teams to the other side of the state line. And now you're saying, not interested, no bidding war here. That tells me that they're trying to soften the blow for when both of these teams elect to stay in Missouri. And what the politicians will say is, well, we didn't want to get into a bidding war. No, nope, no revisionist history allowed around here on KCMO Talk Radio. You started the bidding war, and then you forced Missouri to do its own bidding on behalf of the taxpayer. The teams end up winning big time, which, you know what? They're allowed to do. They're a business. They played these two sides of the state line like a fiddle. And in the end, guess what? Missouri may end up coming out on top, and then Kansas will say, we didn't want to get into a bidding war. Oh, my goodness, that is such a lie.
Isn't it funny? We'll revert to the benevolent aunt and uncle role. If you kids can't live with your parents, you can live here if you need to. Yeah. That's kind of, Kansas will say, we just didn't want them to go to Nashville, Salt Lake City, ...
We were just trying to protect them from Austin, Texas.
Sure.
Oh, stop. All right, you made a play. It may not be cutting in your favor. And now you're going to do the whole, no bidding war here. We're looking out for the little guy. No, if you were looking out for the little guy, you wouldn't have gone down this road to begin with, guys, because both sides end up losing here.
What do you suppose, like if Kansas were an amphitheater and Johnson County's the stage, the band's never playing for the guys on the stage. They're playing for the rest of the amphitheater. Yeah. Would that be, the people on stage, they're in on it. They know, we're in on the stadium thing. But we got to tell the rest of the state, hey, we're not going to pursue this and tax you guys in your revenue.
Yeah, I mean, there could be some of that going on. What I really think this is about Laura Kelly realizing that they may not get these teams. And now the out for the state of Kansas is going to be, we're not getting into a bidding war. When you started it, okay? That's what this is ultimately all about. And to hear Laura Kelly go out there and say to Fox 4, we make sure that any economic development deal like this, we take very seriously. We comb through all the data. We make sure that it's a good deal for the folks. Well, then why have star bonds failed? If everything is on the up and up, why have they failed many times? Why? The Panasonic deal in DeSoto already is coming in below expectations. That deal is already being scaled back in many respects. Why? Well, because the EV market is not as robust as it was a couple of years ago when this was sold as the greatest thing that ever happened to the state of Kansas. The subsidies for EVs have gone out the window courtesy of the Trump administration. People are realizing they don't really want these cars unless they're incentivized by the government to buy them. So that project is already seeing a scaling back. So when I look at the two sports teams and I hear the governor say, no bidding wars here, I'm like, what planet are you living on? You started the whole thing. You got the whole border war and the bidding war started.
That's
and the
the
people
spirit.
getting the last laugh are the owners themselves. It's John Sherman. It's Clark Hunt. And Clark Hunt addressed some of this yesterday before the Chiefs played the Commanders when he said this.
Stadium projects move at their own pace, and we've learned over the years that you can't really force them to go faster, even if you want them to. So it's just important for us to keep working on both options. We're glad that we have both options, and hopefully sometime in the near future, we'll get to a decision.
I don't blame Clark Hunt one bit. I don't blame him. I really don't. But when he says we're glad we have both options, no kidding you are. If you stay at Arrowhead, suddenly you have this big incentive from the state that you didn't have the last 20 years. And if you go to Kansas, you may have up to 70% of the stadium funded by additional revenues courtesy of the taxpayer. So no kidding. If you're Clark Hunt, you're living good right now. Yeah, you're glad you've got both options because the state of Kansas started the bidding war. And for Laura Kelly to try to rewrite history in this clip to Fox 4 and be like, we're not going to get into a bidding war, spare me, please. I don't want to hear it. You guys got the whole thing going, and now you want to act like you're not playing the game that you've been playing for the better part of a year and a half. That's not going to fly here. No way, no how.